Hey guys, thanks for stopping in. I picked up a little petite pork shoulder roast. And I'm going to see if I can make some pulled pork with it in my toaster oven. So this is a new method that I saw Chef John over at Food Wishes do, where he takes it and he wraps it in parchment paper and then he wraps foil over the top of that. And I also saw Sal over at the Root Boy Cooks do it, and he did it on his grill. But he said you didn't get a smoky flavor to it because it was all wrapped up. So he said you may as well do it in the oven. So I thought, you know what? I bet you nobody's done this in a toaster oven. So let's get toasting. So this is the piece of meat I found to use for this. It's a petite pork shoulder roast, boneless, Swift Premium, and it's cut for the crock pot. I actually did cook one of these in the crock pot once. And I think I did a video. It turned out pretty good. So this is 2.42 pounds. So I guess I just get this opened and probably dry it off a little bit, and then wrap it in the parchment paper. Actually, I'll season it first. He seasoned. Chef John made his own rub, but I'm just going to use rub from the bottle. So. Okay, let me dry that off a little bit, and then we'll season it and wrap it up. I was looking at the label, and this was actually in a brine, like a 12% solution of salt and pork broth or something like that. So I just took a paper towel and dried the excess off. And I'm using this Rub Some Bud. It's a Carolina style mustard and vinegar rub. It's pretty good. I like this one. It's not spicy, it's more tangy. And I'm just going to season both sides pretty good. This rub doesn't have much color to it though, so I'm just also going to add just a little bit of this mild barbecue rub, just to give it a little bit more color. I can get it out without getting too much here. There we go. Okay, let me flip it over and do the other side, and then we'll wrap it up. Now let's see if I can figure out how to wrap this thing up. Not sure how the best way to do this is. I guess just roll it. Chef John used brown paper, brown parchment paper, but I've never seen that. All I had is white where I shop, so going with white. You know, I think that's pretty good. Now I'm just going to wrap that in foil. I decided to do one more layer of parchment. I think he wrapped it a couple times, so basically I just turned the roast sideways this time and just roll it up that way. There we go. Now I'm just going to wrap that in foil and we'll get into the oven. Chef John said to cook this in a 225-degree oven for 1 hour and 45 minutes per pound. So I figure that should be about 4.5 hours. And he also said put it into a dish because it will leak into the oven. Also, he didn't do this, but I'm going to stick an oven meat thermometer in the center of it just so I kind of have an idea what the temperature is. I think pulled pork is supposed to be cooked to about 200 degrees, and that'll just help me see where I'm at. My oven is set to 225 degrees Fahrenheit. I pulled the rack out and put the tray in. That'll drop everything down a little bit lower so it will clear the top heating element, hopefully. Yeah, looks good, just right. Okay, so we should be back in about 4.5 hours. My cooking time estimate was 4.5 hours, but it has been 5 hours and 15 minutes. Check the temperature. It reads about 198 degrees, which is about where I want it. So I'm just going to shut the oven off right there and let it rest for about an hour, and then we'll open it up. Okay, this is rested close to an hour, and I'm sure it's still going to be hot. So let me just try to cut it open. See if I can do this without burning myself and without making a big mess. Smells good. One more layer of paper here, I think. Doesn't have as, wow, it's juicy. A lot of juice in there. I don't know if you can see that. I'll change the camera angle and show you guys. Now, the color of mine is not as dark as Sal's and Chef John's, but I used a different color rub, so that's probably why. Let me change the camera angle and show you all the juice in there. There we go. I changed the camera angle so you can see down in there. See all that juice? A lot of juice in there. More importantly, how tender is the meat? Piece pulled right off. Let's give it a try. Oh wow, this is yummy. Look how tender this is. Nice. Wow. That's all the juice that came out of the parchment paper right there. That's quite a bit of juice. Now we'll put the pork back in there. Let me grab another fork that I have in my pocket here. We'll see if we can pull this apart. Looks pretty tender to me, huh? Gonna splash this juice all over the place. Looks nice and moist inside. Well, that turned out pretty darn good. I grabbed myself a nice fresh roll, put some pork on there, a little Coakley's barbecue sauce. Let's give it a try. This is really good. Thanks for watching, you guys, and I'll talk to you next time.